Welcome today. We are so excited for you guys to be here. We have a really fun session today to end our training week. So if you guys have been with us this week, we've done 6 sessions this week going over all things new we've experienced. And we're going to end with a Q&A today. So a couple things that I do want to just make sure everyone's on the same page here. This webinar is being recorded, so don't worry if you want to reference back to this, if there's other people in your office that you want to watch this. It's going to be recorded, and we'll get it sent out to you guys on Monday so that you guys have those, and you'll have the other 6 sessions as well. They will also live on our training camp page as well. So if you go under training camp and then under live sessions, you'll be able to see all of the recordings in there as well. If you guys have questions, which I really hope you do, because today we are going to try and answer as many questions as we can in the chat box, which it looks like a lot of you are getting familiar with. Right above chat, it says Q&A. If you add your question to the Q&A, it just makes it a little bit easier because we do have some support reps helping us answer the questions on the back end. So we're answering everyone's questions. We might not answer them all live, but we want to make sure that you are getting your question answered. So make sure you toggle to the Q&A and add your questions there and not in the chat. Okay. My name is Adria. If you guys have not been here or you haven't been on one of my sessions, welcome. I'm so excited you guys are here. I'm one of the product training specialists here at Weave. I also have Paige Kerman, who's the director of product design, and Nate Nelson, who's the senior director of product marketing. So they are very much so responsible for the new Weave experience. So please ask them your questions. Also, Nate, really quick, in the bottom right corner, if you click go on stage, you're still backstage. Sorry, we just want to get Nate on here. And then I'm going to run through our training resources with you really quick because sometimes we run out of time. We have Weave Help available to you guys 24/7. This is our version of Google. Please ask your questions in there. You will find so many great articles about how Weave works, step-by-steps, all of that good stuff. Any feature that you have questions about, it will help you with that. There's also some great troubleshooting tools on there as well. Then we also have Weave Training Camp, which I'll show you guys how you can access both of them through the new Weave experience. But Training Camp is a really great tool for you to utilize if you want to get a holistic hands-on view on Weave. It'll walk you through step by step how everything works. And it's more of like a demo environment for you to play in. You can also pull up your Weave and follow along. So those are great tools for you. And like I said, we'll share those in just a minute. And then we're going to open it up to a Q&A. So I'm going to stop sharing this and have Nate and Paige chat with us. There's a couple questions that I do want to lead off with because I do think they are the $1 million questions. Is why? Why did we decide to change Weave and have a whole new experience for you guys to utilize?
Yeah, Nate, I'll take this one first. And if you have stuff you want to jump in with, feel free. So there are a few major reasons that we decided to reinvent Weave and really make it better for you and for your workflow. But the biggest one is that when we were watching how our customers were using Weave, you're almost never doing one thing at one thing at a time. You're almost always doing multiple things. You're answering phone calls, checking people out, sending people payment requests. You are getting people rescheduled, and all of those things. When you have to do only one at a time, it slows you down. And so the new Weave experience was designed with multitasking in mind. We really wanted to make it super efficient for you to text someone back while answering a phone call or look up someone's details and their insurance while you're texting them. These are really important workflows that hopefully will make you move a lot faster. Nate, you want to jump in with some of your favorite reasons why we reinvented Weave?
Yeah, I mean, it really is piggybacking on what you're saying, Paige. In terms of being able to multitask is super critical. But one of my favorite things about the new Weave is the ability to have just almost unlimited flexibility in how you're approaching the app. And so if you want it to be big and you want to be able to do all the things at the same time, great. If you want it to be small and you want to be able to focus on, if a certain member of your staff wants to be able to focus on a particular thing, you can do that as well. We can customize the dashboard completely to be only pertinent information for that person. We can also make it possible that if they log in, it's going to be at it's going to show them exactly what they need to see and be able to be most effective at their job. So like just supercharging the efficiency of the staff.
Nate, you forgot my favorite part of the customization. So one of the things that was like one of our most requested features when I first joined Weave was people wanted to customize their own colors. And when I came in, I was like, that is such a fun idea. We should really allow people to do that. And now one of the big flexibility and customization things we have available for you is you can now customize your colors. So it seems small, but it makes a difference.
All right, just because you said that, I have to say something else too. Not only are the colors pretty, but the dashboards are so much better. And I mentioned the customizable dashboard, but even if you're going into any of our analytics tools, the ability to see all that information in one place and not have to switch back and forth between an app and the portal and a forms system, we're really just reducing all of we call it in the business context switching, but it's really switching between one thing and another is killing productivity. So another amazing reason for why we did the new Weave.
Yeah, I will say, I think it is so nice that everything is all in one place now, and you don't have to be jumping back and forth, and you can really maximize on what users have access to what, so you don't have to worry about like, oh, I don't want everyone to see payments. You can filter that out so they're only seeing their messages or things like that. So it makes it really nice and it's cool. Okay, another question I'm going to ask you is, what are you two as the designer and the product marketer? I mean, you guys are definitely director, senior roles, but what are your favorite, you guys touched on a little bit, but what are your favorite tools that you are the most excited that our customers get to use now?
Can I go first this time, Paige?
Yeah, do it.
All right, so this is such a simple one, but every single customer that I show this to, they're like, oh my gosh, what did I do? What did I do without that particular thing before? And I'll tell you what you did. You wasted a lot of Post-it notes. So the thing that I love the most is that we've made it possible for you now to do a schedule send. So if you're interested in the case scenario that I love is a patient comes in or a customer comes in, has a procedure, gets a service from you, and you want to follow up with them, say the next day or in a few days to make sure that they're fine. In the past, the way that you had to do it is you would just like get a pen, write down on Post-it notes, stick it on your computer monitor. Don't forget to text Nate in 2 days to see if his, Botox is fine. And now you can just schedule send that and it will automatically send that out. And if you don't want them to respond, if you want that message to be paused, you just click the little button and it will be paused coming in. And it seems like such a simple thing, but it's such a massive improvement in terms of what we can do. So I love it.
Nate, I'm going to ask the $1 million question I think we're all dying to know. How are your Botox doing?
It's not working, guys. It's not helping at all.
Awesome. Well, my favorite feature, I have so many, and Nate stole like one of my favorites, so I'm gonna choose a different one, even though I do agree that one's amazing. I think one of my favorites is the pop-out conversations. So with the pop-out chats, and I'm happy to show you all if you haven't seen it yet, but if you have, I recommend doing it. Pop-out conversations allow you to have multiple conversations going in any parts of the app. So you can have a conversation running while you're looking at your schedule, or you can have 2 or 3 conversations going while you're looking at your analytics. And this just allows you to bring your conversations with you, as opposed to having to answer only one at a time, go through them very linearly. This just works a lot better for people's workflows. And I will say, as just a little pro tip, when we watch our power users use the new Weave, that is what they're using.
It is such a fabulous tool, and it's so great, you guys, to be able to keep a conversation on there and then be able to still do whatever else you're needing to do. And it stays with you throughout the entire weave. So it doesn't matter if you go to the schedule, if you go to your payments, if you go to forms, the pop-up stays there with you so you can see the responses, which is fabulous. I agree, Nate. That probably is my favorite part of it. It really is. It's so nice that you can schedule send those messages, because there's so many times where you're sitting there and you're like, oh my gosh, I need to, send a text to so-and-so, but it's, Thursday at 5 o'clock and you close at 5 and you're like, I don't want them to text me back. I'll send it in the morning. So it's really great. Okay. Then I'm going to ask another $1 million question. How do people get the new Weave experience? How can they access it today? And what is the difference between the web view and the app?
Yes, so the new Weave is accessible through a variety of places. The first one is, you might have seen in your desktop app and your legacy app, you had a little pop-up that said, try it now. If you click try it now, it's going to take you right there. And then on the bottom, you'll see a purple banner that says download the desktop app. That's going to be a really easy way. But for those of you who missed that pop-up, which it's totally possible, and I will share my screen so you can see exactly how to get in there next time. Okay, so everyone should be super familiar with the portal. This is likely a tool that you use every day. If you click this button that says switch to app in the left-hand corner, this will bring you right into the new Weave. So that's the easiest way to access it. Then from there, like I said, if you haven't downloaded the desktop app, you'll see a little banner at the bottom. It's kind of right where my mouse is right now. It's purple, you can't miss it. And it will say download the desktop app. When you download the desktop app, that's what will give you access to these custom color themes. You'll be able to have call pops and notification pop-ups like you've always had. But if you do want to access the new Weave in a browser, so maybe you want to take Weave on the go and use it while you're at a hotel, or maybe you're trying to access it on your phone and you just need an easy way to get to it, you can always go to app.getweave.com/home/dashboard. Or again, if you just go to app.getweave.com, that will bring you right here. And then you can always click the switch to app button and that will bring you to the new Weave. Nate, did I miss anything?
No, but I want you to put it back up there for a second.
Okay.
Because you're so good at this. I mean, this kind of goes back to my idea of the flexibility. Obviously, the vast majority of our customers are using the new Weave in this size, but we have heard a lot that people are like, oh, I liked the old Weave or the legacy Weave, right? And we love it too, right? Like we love it too. So Paige, we just shrink it down. If you like the way that looked and functioned, no worries, we've got you, right? You make it to this small size. You have the exact same look and feel of the legacy Weave. And then when you're ready to move on to the future, just drag it out. There you go. And that's where we're going.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And one thing that I will say about this flexibility is we really want Weave to work for your workflow. We don't want it to be something where we're trying to cram our ideas into what you need. This flexibility, really, our hope is that it gives you exactly what you need when you need it. You can customize it for what you like. And yeah, we hope you love that it is flexible like that.
Yeah, and something that I'll add too with this, and I'm seeing some questions come through. The legacy version of Weave, the version that you've historically seen where it does look like a little phone on your computer, there were a lot of limitations there, and there were a lot of things that we just couldn't do in it. Where with the new experience, we have launched it, so there's so many different ways of not ways, but there's so many different things you can do in it to maximize your time. Paige, would you share your screen and show everybody with messages how they can filter out their messages through unread, read, how they can archive, how they can bulk archive, and how that works?
Totally. Okay, so if you pop into your messages tab here, there's a lot that you can do that you really never could do before. And we, again, wanted to give you ultimate flexibility. So one of the things that we wanted to do was really improve on this idea of things that are actionable or in your all. And what we did was we created filters that actually should help you get to what you need quicker. So the first one is, let's say you want to know just everything that's been unread. You can click on the unread filter and it will show you everything right there. If you want to see everything that's unread or things that haven't been replied to yet, you can click on that and that will show you that right there. So those are some great things, just quick, easy access filters. Some of my favorite things though, likely different people on your team have different functions. Some people might be doing billing, some people might be doing scheduling, some people might be doing general reception duties. And so what you can do is you can actually create your own tags and then filter by those tags. So let's say I want to tag, or I want to see just the messages that were tagged with scheduling, to do, and billing. I can tag those, see all these messages right in here. You can open it up and see all the tags applied. And if I want to know as the biller, which message is for the billing department, I can click on that and it's going to jump me right to that message and highlight that for me. So hopefully that will make it a really, really efficient workflow for you and your teammates when maybe you do get 2 questions in a row that one person isn't suitable to answer both. So those are some great things there. Adria, did I miss anything that you wanted me to show in that workflow?
No, I think that's perfect. But will you keep your page up? Oh yeah, go ahead, Nate. Go ahead.
Sorry, can I address 2 things too? We hear all the time, when are you bringing back the actionable tab? And here's my best response, and I'd love to hear Paige's best response too. The actionable tab was good, but it didn't get to the level of granularity that you guys need, right? And if you want to create that exact same tab, Paige can actually show you how to do that. It's like unread, unreplied, and error or something like that, right? But the benefit of having this level of granularity in terms of being able to filter the messages actually just makes it so much better because the actionable tab was not always actionable, right? It wasn't always the right thing. So what we tried to do was make it even better for you. And then, sorry, this is just because I saw Bob's question over there in the chat. There is a question of like, okay, well, how do I get to various parts of the app? When it was small, I could just see the blue button and I would click on that one for payments or whatever. We've just moved all of those links to the left nav, right? So they're all right there instead of the blue circles. The reason why this is super cool is that previously it was very linear. You had to like click into an app and then click out and then click in and then click out. What we can now do is you can move from messages to payments directly. You don't have to click out again. So it's something that makes it a whole lot simpler to navigate around the app by just putting all those things on the left side and always present and always available. Sorry, that's my comments from the peanut gallery.
No, I think that's great because I think there's a lot of people who have the same question. And you can, and someone asked this too, is can you make it small? There is a way that you can make it small and a view like the old version. You just have to make sure you're in the downloaded app. You cannot do it on the web-based page, but you can do it on the app, and Paige is showing you here. You just slowly move it. In like the top corner or the bottom corner, you just kind of can drag it and it will make it into a smaller view. And then Paige, will you show them like the menu page so they can see where all like the icons are?
Totally. So let me just quickly show you a few things here. So when you click on, this is called a hamburger navigation because it looks like a little hamburger. When you click on the hamburger, it will open your entire menu. When you click on this is opening up your action bar. So this is where you'll be able to create new messages really easily. You can access your team chat from here. Your quick fill and your schedule pulse are all living in there. And then let's say you do want to go home, you want to see kind of this blue dot version. When you make it as small as possible, all you have to do is click on this all apps button and you can see it just like this. One thing that Nate and I will both tell you, and we love this view because it is very familiar and homey and it works. It's worked for you for so many years and we really want to make sure that you still have that familiarity if you want it. But my team is responsible for a lot of the design and testing of how this app actually got made. And so really what we did was we measured confidence scores, enjoyment scores, and just satisfaction scores across almost everyone who used the new Weave for 6 months while it was still in beta. And for that 6-month period, the size that we found that most people had the best success was right around this size. So please feel free to customize it for your workflow. But if you ask me, where am I going to see the most benefits from the new Weave? It's right around this size.
I'm going to agree. Oh, go ahead, Nate.
No, so I just saw Naomi said, show it again. So just show it again. Like just
okay.
Make it small, make it big. You just drag the corner. Very easy.
Okay, so when you get to the edge, you'll see that there's this little arrow icon that kind of appears and you can start wiggling the app. You can drag this all the way in and make it small. And again, by default, you'll see it closed like this. If you want to see those blue dots with the icons, you can open it up. And then you can just make it big, drag it right out again.
There's the future right there. There's the future.
Yep.
It's just really nice because there's so much more you can see on here. There are so many really cool tips and tricks and things like that using Weave just to be able to see everything as a whole. I'm much of a visual person, so I like to be able to see everything, and it makes it just so much easier to work and navigate things. Okay, there are a couple questions that I do want to address before we forget to answer, which I don't think you guys will let me forget this question. The legacy app, we have talked about it a couple times. What is the time frame with that going away?
All right, I'll start with this, and Paige, you can add color. So I'm going to make 2 comments. First of all, at this point, the new Weave is a vastly superior product. So I'm not saying like, but it's a better, it's just a better thing for you. So if I were you, I would move over as quickly as you can. That said, we are monitoring and using data to determine when we're going to be ready to sunset the legacy app. At this point, we don't have a date. And if you want to continue using the legacy app, we definitely are making that available to you. Even if you have some people in your office that are more comfortable with the legacy app and they want to use that, and other people in the office want to use the new Weave, they can do that. But again, the new Weave is not only a better product in terms of everything, but in terms of usability and functionality and everything else, we would just really encourage you to check it out and have everybody in your office check it out, because I think that there's going to be a small kind of adjustment window, but I think that really quickly people are going to go, oh, I get it. Of course, like we need to move over. So that's my comment. Paige, do you have any other kind of additions to that?
Yeah, I think that was great. Really, what Nate said is totally the truth, that as much as we have loved the legacy app for so many years, I mean, truly it's been 14 years of loving and embracing this legacy app. We really wanted to make sure that you have the best tools at your fingertips and that our engineering efforts are going into building out the best tools possible. So at this point, pretty much all of our efforts on improving Weave are going into the new experience. And so if you are still using the legacy app, you might not get some of these great new features. Like we just introduced reactions in team chat, and being able to actually like thumbs up that's fun. A thumbs up a team member's message, things like that. Those things are things that you're only going to get in the new Weave. If you are using the legacy app, you are going to be missing out on some of the great new features we have. That being said, and like Nate mentioned, we don't have a time where we're saying you have to move over by this point. But we encourage you in your office to, embrace all the great new things that we have coming, and we hope that this is a good start.
I think that's great. And honestly, you guys, the new Weave experience, and we've all said this, it just has so much more functionality and things that you can use that we are all very confident that you will love the new experience far more than you will the legacy app. I know you guys are all probably pretty comfortable with the legacy app, but the new Weave experience, or just new Weave, just Weave as a whole, this is what it is far superior than the legacy app. So please don't be nervous about playing around in here. It is really great. One thing that I will say, as you are getting comfortable with New Weave, you can use the legacy app still. You can use them in tandem with each other. No, there might be a little bit of a lag between like messages and things like that, but you can use them in tandem. But I would recommend that you are using the new Weave over the legacy app because I think you'll find it a lot better.
Adria, yeah,
I'm not biased.
No, I know. Hey, can I make a real quick comment just based on kind of Patrice's
Yes.
mention in the chat there? When we're talking about an actionable or all message or any feedback, I will tell you, so we left the new Weave in beta for an extended period of time. It's been in beta since April. It's out of beta now, right? We're super comfortable with it being out of beta, but that doesn't change the fact that we are always listening. We are always asking for feedback. We always want to hear. So like Patrice's comment about like, let's make sure that we have the actionable and all. We hear you and we're going to evaluate that. We want to make sure that we're giving you exactly the experience that you want. And it's amazing. And I think that it's like, from my perspective, I think it's amazing from the time that we released it to beta to the time that we released it out of beta. It would blow your mind how much the app changed based on your feedback. So please keep it coming. In fact, Paige, I'm actually hoping you'll show them how to provide feedback directly inside the app, because we are always listening. In the last 2 weeks, I think that we asked for, we put a survey out. I think we got like 800 responses of the good and the bad and the ugly, and we want it all. So keep it coming. We're listening. We hear you. Paige and I, like, we read all of them, and we get them assigned out. Like, we try to figure out where we can position them, and it's Paige actually probably does it better than I do. But we're always listening. We're always paying attention.
Yeah, I think one great thing, and not that I'm supposed to be plugging Nate here, but I will. I think one of my favorite things about Nate is he and I are both really, really fixated on giving you guys the best experience possible. We want to make sure that you love our product so much so that you'll keep using us forever and ever and ever. That would be ideal. But we really want to make sure that you have what you need here. So the more feedback you can give us, the better. And we want to know the good and the bad. Like, if you're loving something and you want us to highlight it more, put more effort into it, things like that, we want to hear that as well. So to give feedback to us inside the app, you'll click on your little icon up here. So this is called your avatar. For me, it says PK. You'll click on feedback right here, and this pop-up will appear. It'll just ask you to kind of give a gut check on how you're feeling, and then give us some feedback. You're welcome to give us one long piece of feedback, or if you have multiple ideas, things like that, just break them up and we'll get them all sorted out.
And to echo that, they really do read everything that you guys have to say. All the good, all the bad, it's read. We hear you. And that's really why we created, I shouldn't say we, you, Nate and Paige and their teams created the new Weave, because they heard everything you were saying and they wanted to address all of it and make sure that Weave is the best experience for you. And we want to be the best. We want to be I'll say it. We want to beat all of our competitors. We want to be number one. And the only way we can do that is with you guys telling us how we can improve and be better. Or if you like something, then tell us you like it and we can just keep making it better. So please add that feedback. We do love to hear what you guys have to say. Okay, there's a couple questions that I want you guys to address that have come through. Cassie asked, how do we customize the coloring? And this is really fun because you can change it like every day if you want to.
Yes. Okay. So to customize the color, you're going to come up here to your avatar, click on Personal Preferences, and this will open, just so everyone knows, everything from the portal is going to be moving in here. So eventually the portal will no longer have to be another place you navigate through. It will all also live in here. So if you come down here to customize your app, you can click on this. It will show you a little preview of what your shell will look like. You can select from one of our pre-made themes. So these are ones that we've looked at and we said, yeah, these are cute. We like them. They look great. But something that I've actually seen a lot of our sales reps do that I think is fun is they'll do a random generator. So sometimes you'll end up with something where for me, I'm like, ooh, do I really want this color? Probably not. And you can just keep regenerating until you get one that you like. If you have a theme that you want to be applied to all of your workstations. So a good example of that is if you want to use a color from your logo or things like that, you can actually use this eyedropper and click custom. You can type in a hex code, or you can use this little picker and you can see like you can pick from here or you can pick from anywhere else. And actually you can't see that part because you can't see that part because that's unfortunately part of my screen, not part of my weave. But you can see, you can pick any color you want. And then if you want to share the theme with other people, you can hit share theme, send that in team chat to everyone else on your team, and they can add that color to their workstation as well if you'd like.
Hey,
and then when you're done, don't forget to hit save.
Yeah, so I love that. I love that the little share theme thing. So if you want to share throughout your office or whatever, I was just like, I put my marketing hat on for a second there, and I was like, you know what we should do? We should do a social competition of who can make the prettiest weave, and then share that. Like we could actually award a winner, and then we could even make it possible that all of our customers could say, "Ooh, I really like what Abigail did in wherever you are, Abigail. I want my weave to look like hers," and we could share it across the board. So very, very
It'll be
fun.
really fun.
I love how personalized this is. By the way, I will say that mine is gray. That's how boring I am.
Every time I see Nate's weave shell, I always think like, wow, this guy is as vanilla as it gets. I'm just kidding. He has Botox, so he has a little spice in him.
Oh, you guys are too funny. Awesome. Thank you. And you guys, in your settings here, there's a ton of settings that you can play around with to customize your weave exactly how you want. So feel free to go in and view your settings and personalize them the way that you want. Paige, I'm going to actually have you show this because this is probably one of my favorite features because I'm blind as a bat these days. Will you show them how they can make their font size bigger? Because I know I'm not the only one that needs it bigger.
Yes. So there are a lot of great things that we've incorporated into the new weave, and one of them is accessibility preferences. So I know Adrian mentioned customizing your own font size, things like that, but we have a lot of our customers that are dyslexic, dysgraphic, maybe hard of hearing and need some subtitles on videos, things like that. And we heard all of that and we wanted to make our app as accessible as possible. So what you'll do is go to personal settings, turn your accessibility mode on. And then if you open up your advanced preferences here, you can actually find all of these settings. So if you wanted to turn it on seizure safe mode, you could do that, or vision impaired. ADHD friendly is kind of fun because it actually helps with reading. So if you're reading a lot of text, this is a really great thing to have. You can also, like Adrian mentioned, adjust the font size, make it bigger, make it smaller, align it center, adjust the line height, anything you need to make weave better for you. The one thing that I will note, we put a little call out here, but I do want to make sure that you know this, is that if you are using accessibility preferences, it is possible that there are certain things that are going to look a little bit different than how they would look to the average user. So just keep in mind that if you see something where you're like, this looks a little funky, or like, this has an outline that I've never seen before, that's likely just because your accessibility mode is turned on. You can always turn it off. It will reload your app when you do that, and you'll be back to normal.
Oh, that's awesome. You guys, honestly, it is going to be so great for you to use in the office. One thing that I want Nate and Paige to comment on, some people are saying that their Weave still says it's in beta. It is not in beta anymore. This is live and ready to roll. Do either of you want to say anything about that?
I'm going to say something. When Paige heard that earlier, she swore that
She did.
Yeah, no. So we're actually, it should not say that it's in beta. Please check again or download the latest app. Make sure that you're on the latest version. Really, that's the correct answer, is make sure that you're on the latest version, and it will not say, or should not say, that it's in beta anymore.
And I will add to that we did a 6-month beta period on this. This was not a product that we released and made it super quick. We made it through a long beta process. Nate and I had some good moments in there where we were like, okay, we're ready for this to be let into the wild, and now we are here. So welcome to the promised land, everyone. You're here. You've arrived.
Oh, I love it. Okay, let's get into some questions that some people have asked about, like the new Weave and things like that. How many users does the new Weave app hold? The office is large with multiple offices.
As many as you want. So one of the great things about the new Weave is that it was actually optimized for multi-locations as well. So some of our groups that we work with maybe have 4, 5, 6, 20. We even work with a group that has 400 offices. Weave is ready to support all of that now. And so just so you can see how this looks, I'll just do a quick little switcheroo here. Oops. Oh, sorry. Works better if I can type. So here you can see it says I have 4 locations selected. If I apply that, you'll be able to see 4 locations. And then on all of these messages, you'll be able to see exactly which message or which location it was received from and sent from, things like that. Every feature is optimized for multi-location at this point.
Awesome. And it really is so great to be able to use that. Okay, is there a new Weave mobile app available?
No, we are continuing to make our mobile app as amazing as possible. And there are going to be things from the new Weave that you see make it into the mobile app, but your mobile app is remaining as it always has. It's going to continue to work in the way that you've always known it to. So unless we have big releases there, which you'll hear about, Nate's team is really good about getting the word out to customers when we do have big releases like that. But otherwise, that app is staying the same.
And I will add to the mobile app, if you have been with Weave for a while, the mobile app had some issues, but it is so fabulous now. We did a workshop a couple months ago on the mobile app, and there's so much functionality to it. Please use it. It is a really great tool to use, but it is not the same as the new Weave that's on your desktop. Another couple questions that I want to address really quick that have come through is people are asking how you edit names in Weave. If you are integrated, you will want to change all of your patient information in your practice management system, in your EHR system, however you're housing your patient information, change it in there. If you're not if you are not integrated, you can upload a CSV file with the latest information. And then Paige, do you want to show how they can create their patients in here?
Absolutely. So along with being integrated and having the option of CSV, we also now have the ability for you to create custom contacts within Weave. So I think custom contacts are really great if you're doing things like you want to be able to text your janitorial staff or your security guards or things like that. So you can actually hit create patient or create contact, whatever you want in Weave. You can add their first name, last name, all of this, and a photo if you'd like. And then once you're in, so here you can see this is me as a custom contact. I can just click this edit button and it will bring me right back into that state where I can edit all of that.
Perfect. Naomi said it takes hours for Weave to update. Depending on your integration, it might be a 24-hour, it might be 15 to 20 minutes, just depending on what your integration is there. Okay, there are a few questions that are coming through. Do we think that we will get a multi-language support in the near future?
That is a great question. So that is something that we're looking into. One of the things that we have kind of on our horizon is we want to make sure that Weave can serve anyone anywhere. We are not at this point ready to roll out multi-language support. But we do hope that you'll see that in the next few years.
And something else that I want to add to that is in Weave, you have like Spanish auto reminders. Nate or Paige, are we thinking of adding any other languages to any auto messages?
Nate, you want to take this or you want me to?
I was just going to say, you can create an auto message in whatever language you want. And I think that that's part of the trick is making sure that it will respond in the language that you want it to be. So if you know that you're going to, if you've got a large group of your customers that speaks a certain language, create an auto message that you know is going to go to that particular patient and then filter by that language. So you can do that today in the current app. Now we are taking that to the next level as future releases come out. So let me make a comment because Paige, I just have to comment on this because Paige mentioned it a couple of minutes ago. My team does kind of convey the large changes that are happening in the mobile app or in the new Weave, but that doesn't change the fact that we are constantly releasing things, and I think that that's something that hopefully is okay for everyone. That all of these releases are incrementally making your experience better based on your feedback. So even if it's not a large release, if you go into the app and you're like, oh, that's new, hopefully they're all pleasantly, it's a pleasant surprise when you go in and see the new thing. It is always based on your feedback. It is always based on making your experience better.
Yep. And then just kind of going back to the multi-language and auto reminder question, like Nate said, the way we build our app is based on your feedback. We want to know what you need so that we build it. Ultimately, if we hear that everyone needs auto reminders in Vietnamese, we're going to look more closely at that than when we hear that just one or two times. So as much as you want to submit product feedback to us, that's how we make sure we build the features that you need. And again,
Paige,
just a reminder of where to go for that. Click on your avatar, then click feedback in the bottom.
and that's the best place for you guys to add that feedback, and you can add anything and everything that you would like. We are coming to time. There's a couple things that I just want to make sure that you guys know before we wrap up. Will you just show them one more time how they can switch to the new experience from the portal?
Yes. Okay. From the portal here. Okay. If you're in the portal, you'll see a blue button in the top left that says switch to app. If you click on that, boom, you're in.
It's that easy. And then there's also going to be a little pop-up at the bottom to prompt you to download the app. So you can access it through the web version or you can download the app, which is a really fabulous way of being able to access Weave.
Adrian,
okay, yeah.
Hey, sorry, I know we have 2 minutes left, but I really want to address Holly's question real quick. This is my shameless plug for the new email marketing tool. And Paige, I don't know if you just want to go in and click on it real fast. It is so money. This is one of the biggest things that I think we can say has been an improvement in the new Weave. So yes, we are working on customizing the marketing pieces when it comes to email campaigns, but we've actually done that and just put it on steroids. So I would very much encourage you to check out the new email marketing campaign. And if you notice how she did that, she went into the very bottom where it says marketing, and then she clicked on email, and then she went into the email editor. One of the things that I do think that I would love for everybody to pay attention to, it looks like, Paige, you're going to hover over that, which is the Weave Assistant. So we are now using, giving you the ability to use AI to really create an amazing email campaign without hardly even using your brain, which is great because you can put in a prompt, it will generate all of the copy for you. It'll make it longer, it'll make it shorter. You can regenerate it. All of that happens within Weave. One of the things that we really haven't mentioned that much on this call is the fact that the new Weave is AI powered. This is one of those aspects of where the new Weave is AI powered. You can create just world-class email marketing from your practice with this new email marketing editor. Sorry, rant over. That was important.
No, I think that's great. And I think it is a really great tool to utilize. And it has made such a difference for how you guys market in your office. And it just makes it so much more fun. We have a lot more, we have a handful of questions that keep coming through. So if you've asked a question that hasn't been answered, I'll make sure to go in and answer it before I log off. I'll just message you back. But just a couple things I want to remind you guys. We have training camp, which, Paige, would you show them how they can access training camp? You just click your avatar and it pulls up the same way you can add your feedback. So there's training camp and there's Weave Help. Training camp is a fabulous tool for you to utilize to get like step-by-step how things work. I know we've talked about a lot of things today that you may have learned that we can do. There's a lot you can do in there. There's different customized drills that you can go through to walk you through the new experience and how it works in your office. And I'll also just add a link into the chat for you to access training camp. We also have Weave Help that you can utilize as well. Thank you so much for joining us, you guys, today. We've covered a lot of different things. I know we went a little bit over. I'm sorry. But if you did not get your question answered, throw it in the chat box and I will make sure to stay on to answer those questions. But if you guys have anything else, please make sure you add that feedback in. We love to hear what you guys have to say. Thank you, Nate and Paige, for coming and spending some time with us today. And we will make sure to get this recording out to you guys by Monday so that you have it. And we will see you guys at one of our next sessions. Thank you so much and have a fabulous day. Thank you for coming to our training week. Bye, guys.